It was so loud. There it is.
It just drugged me. Wow! Right, but can you like say like
Oh my God.
Kept telling me to leave that site.
On October 5th, 2025, Dee from Dee's Dark Adventures headed out to document another night deep in the forest. Her channel focuses on real encounters in abandoned and allegedly haunted places, where isolation and darkness often erase the boundary between curiosity and genuine risk. That night, she and Bear traveled far into the woods toward a forgotten livestock pen. The atmosphere was motionless, cold, and oppressive, a silence that felt wrong. Within moments, the footage jolted violently. Something had already gone wrong before the night truly unfolded.
But those woods look closer than they are. What?
Did you hear that?
Listen, listen.
Holy smokes, look.
Dude, turn.
I just heard something come from the barn too, but that was two huge blacks.
I wonder if it was answering the one back there.
Did you hear that?
That wasn't a gun, was it? Pop out. One knocked.
It was like some little...
Dude, careful, you're gonna break your damn leg. I'm wondering if it answered the knock from that one over there.
Yeah, I just heard something like walking right behind me.
Dude, this place is crazy, I'm telling you. Screams, everything.
Earlier that evening, Dee and Bear had arranged their equipment beside the collapsed pen, a structure left to decay for years, beams coated in moss, corroded metal, and an unnatural stillness hanging in the air. Recording had barely begun when repeated knocking sounds echoed from the forest. It wasn't caused by wind. The night was completely calm.
I told you, when something landed on that barn and like took off or something, like a huge rock or something big, it had to be 80 plus pounds that landed on that.
80 pounds?
On the barn, and it didn't break, it didn't bend, it didn't nothing. Like, it was just so heavy, it had to be something huge. And I'm just 80 pounds at least. If it was any bigger, it would have crushed it. All right.
Is that an eyeball?
Yeah.
Is that a huge eyeball?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Wow. Right.
I'm sorry, my bad. I don't see it. We need to find a spot and sit and be quiet and watch.
Put down some cat balls.
So far, we're the ones walking and they're doing stuff. I think that we walked into them knocking, but they would usually stop.
I wasn't happy with my knock. That old post.
What was that?
How would you call a dog?
How?
Everybody says you don't want to. Like, yeah.
No, you don't.
How would you tell me a dog? Whoa.
Stop.
Hey, a minute ago there was something bigger.
Hold on, dude. Did you hear that?
That's a whole different thing. Something different.
All right.
That last thing, I've been listening over here. Listen.
I'm trying. Hang on. That wasn't real. That wasn't a real goose.
That sounded crazy.
That sounded weird.
Is there water around here?
There's a river, but it's way that way, like a 30, 40, maybe an hour walk. Now the owl's over there.
That is so crazy, man. It's like the owl's going with it too. The first thing was back right behind you.
I know. That's what they do, man.
That was two totally different sides.
Soon after, another noise followed, resembling distant waterfowl calls, even though no nearby water source existed. 2 abrupt impacts struck the pen itself, and Dee's camera briefly captured a dull yellow reflection deep between the trees, eyes shining back from the darkness. As they pushed deeper, the trail disappeared beneath fallen limbs and creeping fog. A sudden snap froze them in place. Dee's flashlight faltered, and then came a violent impact. Something heavy, estimated at over 80 pounds, landed on the structure above without leaving visible damage.
My light is not dead. Oh my God. My lights are getting killed. Yeah, it's the second one. I've only got one left. Dang. All right. Stupid light, get off. I'm stuck on these stupid bushes. I'm gonna come out a little bit more. Well, I can't see. The closer I get to these, I can't see over, and I keep hearing things. So I'm trying to be as far back as I can. Wow! All right, my whistle's scared. Listen.
Ow, son of a... What the heck just happened? What happened? Hey, what just happened? Huh? Holy smokes, man, you're freaking way back here. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, we gotta get, how do we even get out of here? That drove you back? That was through a whole freaking field.
Oh, my back is fucked.
There's a path. It just yanked you right through all that.
Where's my camera?
I don't know.
Oh my God, here. It's still going. Oh my God. It just drugged me.
I gotta get my camera.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, we gotta go.
I have no idea. Get your bag.
I'm trying. Go get your stuff. I got mine. Go.
I got your one bag. Come on.
It was thorns.
Let me see.
I don't want to let right now.
Come on.
We'll get to the truck. Go. Oh my God, my back is bleeding. I can feel it. It wouldn't let go until I said Jesus. As soon as I said Jesus, it let go. Hold on, I want to go. Are you okay?
Sorry.
Oh my God, dude, my bag. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, let's go this way. I don't know.
The forest went quiet until a low growl vibrated through the trees. A strong, decaying odor filled the air. Dee later described the sensation of being observed, with the cold seeming heavier on one side of the path. In a nearby clearing, crushed leaves suggested something large had been resting there. Then came hurried movement, breaking branches, and a howl that seemed to move around them. The camera captured the eyes again, noticeably closer. Her light flickered once more, and a brief red reflection appeared above Bear, several feet off the ground. Movement followed, sudden and aggressive. Dee was dragged backward, and the camera slammed into the soil. The footage became disordered. Indistinct noise, frantic motion, and signs of a struggle. Dee cried out in pain. After a strained moment, she spoke a single word, and everything abruptly ceased. Shortly after, her voice returned, unsteady and breathless, as they escaped the woods, abandoning their equipment. The recording ended without sound. Later, viewers pointed out a shadowy shape slipping behind a tree and faint footsteps just before the incident. Some believed the reaction in that moment proved the presence was an animal, while others warned against deliberately seeking out unknown forces. No explanation was ever given for why the disturbance stopped instantly after that word was spoken. Dee later stated she sustained only minor injuries but chose not to release the full, unedited footage. Since that night, she has not confirmed whether she will ever return to that forest. As one viewer summarized, when someone stares into the darkness long enough, it eventually looks back. She had chosen to camp on Australia's highest mountain, but something unexpected approached her tent during the night. Kristen, a hiker known for documenting her outdoor journeys, set out to climb Mount Kosciuszko. The hike took longer than anticipated, leading her to set up her tent and spend the night close to the summit. Completely alone on the mountain, she settled in, hoping for a calm and uneventful night. After nightfall, however, unfamiliar sounds began coming from outside her shelter.
It's just so loud. There it is.
At first, she tried to dismiss them, assuming it was nothing more than the wind. Before long, the noises became clearer. Slow, heavy footsteps moving around her campsite. Paralyzed with fear, Kristen stayed inside her tent, forcing herself to remain calm until daylight finally arrived. When she later posted about the experience online, many viewers doubted that wind was to blame. Some believed it could have been wildlife, possibly a dingo, while others wondered if another person had been roaming the mountain that night. In isolated environments like this, even minor sounds can feel amplified by solitude. But when footsteps are clearly heard, it raises an unsettling question. Was it simply an animal or something more human? What do you think? Was Kristen really alone on that mountain? Or did something or someone choose to follow her through the night? On August 13th, 2023, the YouTube channel Victoria Rose, run by a solo female traveler and van life creator, uploaded a video that veered sharply from her usual calm content. Her channel typically shows honest moments from life on the road, blending practicality with a relaxed atmosphere. But that night offered anything but peace. After visiting her favorite Amish surplus store, she planned to try dispersed camping in a wooded area of New York, something she had never done in that region before. In the western states, finding solitude was easy.
Let's do 24 hours in my life living in my converted sheep. Okay, we'll do that. I was going to do like a day of my life. Maybe that's what it'll be too, but I'm starting a little bit late. It's like 11. So I got up, I'm trying out this new mineral multivitamin drink that I take in the mornings. And before I go out and find a place to live in the forest, I wanted to stop at the Amish store. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you know that where I'm around here, around a lot of Amish people and in the country. And my favorite thing about that is that there's dented can stores which sell like expired foods at a really cheap cost. So I save so much money when I'm here, which I'm saving money right now to go international and do van life international. That first, then I'm going to, for the first time ever, I'm going to find free dispersed camping, probably in New York. I'm going to go to New York today. in this area. So I don't know what I'm going to find. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully I'll have somewhere to sleep today. But let's get some groceries first.
In the Northeast, however, where wild camping is limited and more closely regulated, it came with added uncertainty. Still, she located a spot, layered her bed with blankets, made a simple meal, and settled in to rest. At around 2 a.m., harsh lights and the sound of tires on gravel jolted her awake.
Fuck. You guys gonna kick me out of this spot? Are you guys gonna move your truck so I can at least leave? Are you gonna move your truck so I can leave? Huh? Well, it's kind of weird that I was well, I am. Well, now I have to leave because there's no way I can sleep like this. Can you at least ask, or say excuse me or something? I was camped here. Right, but can you say go into the woods? Yeah, but it's just common courtesy to say sorry. I didn't realize. Is it okay if we camp here? But it's this is the spot that I got. It's just strange. It's rude.
Several people had driven directly into her campsite, not nearby, but inside it, parking so close that their vehicle completely blocked hers. When she addressed the situation, there was no recognition of her presence, no apology, and no attempt at courtesy. Instead, her concerns were brushed aside, as if she were the one intruding. Alone in the darkness, surrounded by strangers who ignored clear boundaries, she knew she couldn't remain there. Tired and shaken, she packed up and drove away, uncertain of where she would go next. The video she shared afterward wasn't exaggerated. She didn't portray herself as a victim or dramatize what happened. Still, the discomfort was unmistakable. What disturbed her most wasn't violence, but the realization that a woman traveling alone can be treated as less deserving of space, even when she was there first. Many viewers connected with the experience, sharing similar late-night situations and offering suggestions like lights, alarms, or other deterrents. But the truth is that no device can stop people from being inconsiderate. Nothing illegal occurred, yet the moment revealed how quickly a feeling of safety can disappear when basic respect is ignored. What do you think? Was this simply poor behavior intensified by the setting, or a reminder of how exposed solo travelers can feel when the freedom of the road suddenly fades? This disturbing moment comes from the travel and van life channel, Travel Snacks, where Nina shares her experiences on the road, focusing on stealth camping, car camping, and finding safe places to stay overnight. On March 8, 2023, while traveling through South Carolina, Nina was looking for a secure location to park her van for the night. After checking residential streets, Walmart parking lots, and hotel areas, what started as a routine search quickly turned into one of her most unsettling experiences.
And this Hilton Garden has plenty of parking. So it's about to go down. Also, there's another van. So that's kind of comforting. Oh, that's a FedEx van. All right, boom. Wait till these people pull past me. Lots of people pulling in right now. It's kind of weird. And go in the back. Turn this light on. Make sure that the curtain's all the way over. Window coverings are all up, so people cannot see inside. Oh my gosh. But I want to look out the window real quick. Light. Ooh, a bus just pulled in. And there's a car. Me. And over on this side is that FedEx truck and this little pickup truck that looks kind of abandoned-ish, and then those cars back there just pulled in, and then there's a bunch of cars parked over closer to the hotel. But so far there's still like a bunch of spaces available, but there's a lot of cars that are just parked with their lights on, so that's a little sketchy. I don't know. If I walk to the front, pull down my curtain. Anybody's parked in front of me. Just this little pickup truck that I saw. And then this. Okay, so even though I'm really tired.
Relying on Google Maps to scan the surroundings, she eventually selected a hotel parking lot that appeared suitable. She set up her van, closed the curtains, and prepared to sleep. But the calm was short-lived. Just minutes after turning off her camera,
Just a second. Hi.
Hey, you have a room?
I just pulled over just to go to the bathroom back here. I'm leaving.
Okay.
All right, so it happened. That's the first time in hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of hotel parking lots that I ever got the knock and I hadn't even fallen asleep. I had just, like I said, just sat there and listened for a few minutes. It hadn't even been 5 minutes since I turned off the camera when I heard that knock. Now, normally, if it was in the middle of the night, I would probably not have answered because of safety and because they wouldn't have known that I was in there. But since they saw me pull up and park, then they were like, bro, no. That's the car that was parked behind me. So when I pulled up and turned and parked, that car was parked there with their light, but it's a regular car. It wasn't like a security car. So it looked like two dudes, which I couldn't really see, but it looked like two dudes in that car, in that regular car. So I thought it was just like people staying at the hotel. But that's interesting that they have security officers in their uniform, but in regular cars.
Quick editing note, the reason I immediately told him I was leaving is because when I rolled down the window, I saw that he was in a security uniform, and I didn't want to go back and forth in terms of asking if I could stay, because obviously if he's coming up to my van, it's not allowed that people could just park there overnight. That's not staying in the hotel.
That's a fat bummer, but again, I actually didn't check that hotel ahead of time to see if they offer free parking or what the situation is.
A sudden knock startled her, loud and forceful, the kind that immediately raises alarm in the middle of the night. Looking outside, she noticed two people sitting inside a nearby vehicle. One of them appeared to be wearing what looked like a security uniform. Wanting to avoid confrontation, Nina made it clear she was leaving, started her van, and drove away. The encounter was brief, yet deeply unsettling. She later found a quieter place to rest until morning, though the feeling of unease lingered. For those living on the road, situations like this show how quickly a sense of safety can disappear. Even with careful planning and seemingly secure locations, a single unexpected knock can turn an ordinary night into something frightening. So what do you think? Was this simply routine security activity, or a situation that could have become far more dangerous if she hadn't trusted her instincts and left? On September 27, 2025, a fresh video appeared on High Gear, a channel recognized for raw off-road rides, wipeouts, and unexpected moments captured entirely through helmet-mounted cameras. On that day, the rider headed into the Italian countryside for what initially appeared to be a routine dirt ride. The sky hung low and overcast, the wind unsettled, and the trail ahead was slick from earlier rainfall. What began as a standard ride would gradually turn into a struggle against weather conditions and physical limits. The footage opened on rugged ground, rolling hills, muddy tracks, and concealed rocks hidden beneath tall grass. Within moments, the tires started sliding, struggling to maintain grip on the soaked surface. As the light faded, the rain grew heavier. Visibility worsened as droplets coated the lens. The rider expressed frustration with the tires, noting their inability to hold traction on wet grass. Even so, he continued forward.
Hey, Vladimir found great ride. Oh, be careful because these tires are not so good on the grass, you know. Good shit. We came to the more fucked up road than this one. I like it.
Okay, this is a road, man. We need to get somewhere on this shit, but we got to keep it slow because look at these rocks, and the suspension of this bike is so trash. It's unbelievable. Big ass motherfucker. Nice. Yeah, we get in it. I hope we don't trim, man. Oh my god, look at it where we are.
Quietly amused, yet determined to press on. Relying on GPS guidance, he searched for a safer route through the forest. The trail narrowed into tight corridors bordered by stone and thick mud. The climb uphill was punishing. The engine strained as the wheels spun without progress.
I gotta say, Vladimir didn't know that this bike has a ventilator too. So it was raining here. If you didn't realize that till now, the ground is a little bit wet, but it's still rideable. Very nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It must be somewhere here. Here is the linea. So my friends, with the help of the GoPro, I found these bitches and they're still gonna work, but I don't know how I'm gonna put them on the bike. I have some tools in the seat, don't have a clue which ones. First of all, I got to turn around the bike and put it on the main stand. In middle of Nebraska, nigga lost his fucking motocross bike parts, man. Holy fuck, man. So as I said, the bike shuts down if the stand is put down and you put in first gear. That's some safety bullshit, you know? So I need something bigger than this shit, man. Okay, this is fucked already. Fucking hell. Guys, you know, oh, I did that like nothing. This fender is fucked. I mean spring. It's twisted. Probably because of the natural design, which is shit. Okay, whatever. We can continue. Holy motherfucker, man. Yes, good that I have the main stander too, man. I would have complications without it. I fixed that bitch, but what happened now is shit started raining, bro. Fucking god, man, it's fucking with me. That's some real enduro bullshit. Oh, bro, I feel the rain much more than earlier. Fuck off. Oh, man, look at the rain. It started just now, man.
Reaching the top brought a moment of relief mixed with fatigue, barely audible over the wind. The confined forest road forced a slower pace. The suspension groaned over scattered stones. He remarked on the earthy scent of mushrooms in the damp air and how the uneven terrain made staying on track difficult. Around the 11-minute point, a mechanical issue emerged. The headlight had detached. He pulled over, lifted the seat, and searched for tools. After several unsuccessful attempts to secure it, he chose to continue the ride. Following the dirt path onward, he eventually reached an open clearing. There, alone on the slope, stood an abandoned house. He reacted with quiet amusement, briefly entertaining the idea of staying. Inside, the interior was bare, the walls stripped clean. A rusted bed frame was the only object left behind. He paused in silence, took it in, then stepped outside, remounted the bike, and rode back into the storm. After the video was uploaded, comments appeared quickly. Some viewers focused on the landscape and trail conditions, appreciating the terrain. Others sensed something else, a lingering emptiness throughout the footage. The experience no longer felt centered on the ride itself, but on the isolation far from everything familiar. The rider never disclosed the location of the house or whether he returned. One comment summarized it plainly. There were no creatures or mysteries, only a rider, his machine, and the elements pushing back. On July 11th, 2025, a new upload appeared on the channel Sydney State of Mind. Sydney, a solo traveler who lives and films from her SUV, set out once again. This journey took her along the foggy Oregon coastline and across the border into Washington state. Her channel typically captures a quiet life on the road, solo camping, cooking inside her vehicle, and exploring overlooked parts of the Pacific Northwest. This trip, however, unfolded differently. It began with scenic shoreline views and ended with a night she later described as one of the most difficult she had faced. The video opened with Sydney driving along the Oregon coast, outlining plans to visit some of the region's most recognizable landmarks, Cannon Beach, Ecola State Park, and historic locations connected to the Goonies. At Cannon Beach, she paused to take in Haystack Rock, the towering sea stack rising from the dark water. At a nearby overlook, she crossed paths with a stranger whose behavior made her uneasy.
Somebody back there is being kind of sketchy and approached somebody else at the scenic stop. And also when I got out of my car, he walked over here. In lieu of sketchy people being here, I just flew my drone, and the drone shots were so pretty. It's time to move on.
The camera wobbled slightly as she brushed it off, choosing instead to keep her distance and launch her drone for a few quick shots before moving on. The following clips showed the coastline from above, cold, quiet, and seemingly deserted. She continued north to Ecola State Park, known for its appearance in the Goonies. The forest there felt dense and shadowed, thick with fog. Not long after, she walked along a beach littered with driftwood and came across a lone grave marker dated 1865, bearing the inscription, "Known only to God." Farther down the coast, Sydney arrived at the remains of the Peter Iredale, a shipwreck from 1906. Its rusted frame still protruded from the sand, surrounded by rolling gray surf. She explained how the wreck had once been far more intact, slowly disappearing with time. Next, she visited Fort Stevens, the only mainland U.S. military site ever shelled during World War II, and Fort Clatsop, where Lewis and Clark spent the winter. Along the drive, she noticed a coyote near the road. Its presence during daylight unsettled her, and later observed a herd of elk grazing quietly in an open field. After crossing into Washington, the mood of the video shifted. Her chosen campsite was in poor condition. Trash scattered everywhere, soggy ground, and a general sense of abandonment. While flying her drone, it malfunctioned and struck both her and the side of her vehicle. She laughed it off, but the camera lingered as she scanned the dark tree line. Later that night, she admitted she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong.
It's nearly 2 in the morning, and I don't feel safe here anymore. Something just kept telling me to leave that site. My gut just kept telling me to leave because I thought that I would be trapped here if I waited until the morning, trapped with a downed tree or something, because it's raining and it's been raining all night, and there was a giant hill with leaning trees next to my site, so I just didn't feel good about it. So yeah, I'm leaving. I kept trying to fight my gut, but it just kept telling me to leave. I could just park there. That's like a good spot.
Around 2 a.m., rain started falling, and her instincts urged her to leave before the road became impassable. By morning, she found herself miles away, drained and tired, with the sky still overcast as she wrapped up the trip near Seattle. Viewers later praised her decision-making, while others pointed out warning signs she may have noticed. Some referenced the area's unsettling reputation. Perhaps it wasn't a clear threat she avoided that night, but the quiet tension that arises when the wilderness no longer feels empty. The video closed with Sydney standing on a bridge in Seattle, smiling softly. Out there, safety isn't always determined by what's visible. Sometimes it's guided by a feeling that arrives before anything else does. That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.